Hi guys, Kim Jong-Lee here, back with another online commentary battle. This one was sent in by Spider playing here as the Scythians. His ally is Esrax, playing as the Scipii. Their opponents are Touro of the Iberos clan, and Dante, who is clans at the moment, I think. We'll get the battle started. It seems to be a quick one, judging by the timer at the top. But we'll have a look at the builds here. Scythia has 6 archer warbands, some axemen, which is a bit strange, but considering this is a team battle, infantry is slightly more useful, so they could come in handy. He has, of course, the 6 headhunting maidens and 2 barbarian calves, so this is slightly more aggressive, especially with the war dogs, the axemen, and 2 barbarian cav. A lot of the time, you'll usually see Scythia go for more horse archers instead of these 2 barbarian calves, so it's interesting that Spider-Pig's chosen to fill his 2 slots, rounded his build with those. Esrax here has the 6 Roman archers, 2 peasants, 1 urban cohort, and 4 Praetorian cavalry, it looks like. Oh no, sorry, 6 Praetorian cavalry, he's got 2 urban cohorts, and 2 Roman cavs, so a bit heavy on the cav and also the infantry as well. Normally in 1 versus 1s you don't see quite this many urbans or peasants, so it's interesting. Dante here has the archers, 2 Triarii, which I quite like, but they're going to match up poorly against the urbans. He has 6 Praetorian cav and 2 Archer Auxilia, so he hasn't really gone for as much cav as his counterpart. My apologies, he does have 2 Cavalry Auxilia, so light cav, but again not as cav heavy as Esrax. Touro has got some infantry, quite a lot of infantry actually. He's got 6 heavy spearmen. It looks like they don't have any upgrades. Oh no, these back ones have gold upgrades, but these front ones don't have any upgrades, it looks like. 6 archers the standard, 2 horse archers though, 1 Arab cav, and I assume 5 cataphracts there. The thing with team battles is that it's very difficult to skirmish, or it's not too difficult, but it's very difficult to do in conjunction with your teammate. Just because a lot of the time it's very difficult to sync up, and having 2 armies crashing into you is obviously gonna rout you a lot faster than just 1. So oftentimes the players with the better infantry are able to push more aggressively and take engagements that favour them, especially with heavy cav advantage like Esrax and Spider-Pig have here. I reckon Esrax really wants these urbans to match up into these Triarii, so hopefully Dante is aware of this. He should probably try to just micro these away from the urbans, but looks like he's trying to get some kills on these urbans. Not sure how much I like that, because they're not really that consequential. These urbans might actually be fine if they get snagged on these Triarii. You probably don't mind that too much, even though the urbans should win in that engagement. A nice catch here with the barbarian cav on this cavalry auxilia. It is just a light cav unit though, and pretty cheap, so Dante probably isn't too fussed about that. And although the skirmish game should favour Dante and Touro, so their goal here should be to drag it out for a little bit, get the missile advantage with their horse archers that Touro is deploying over here. Should be able to hopefully get some archer advantage with that, and also the 2 extra archer auxilia here that Dante has. So they're probably shooting at some archers here, or maybe even some of the cav. These axemen are going to be very difficult, probably against these heavy spearmen, unless they can get around on a flank. So maybe it's a good idea to space these axemen out a bit more, to make it more easy to get a favourable engagement. But Esrax going to push in here with all this cav. It seems a bit disjointed, but Dante wants to disengage, but he's having second thoughts, it seems. But Esrax is just throwing all this cav in here. He should win this engagement here. Spider Pig has also reacted quite well to this. He's just sending his headhunting maidens over. It's just going to be, I think, a big cav fight. That devolved quite quickly. Enemy general's dead, so I assume one of the generals have died on the enemy side. Maybe it's this SPQR one, but might also be the Armenian one. Probably the Senate one. But some Proton cavalry just lying around here for Esrax. He should send them in again relatively soon. And this fight was actually taken in a pretty good spot, quite far away from the heavy spearmen. The heavy spearmen, as you can see, are being pretty useless right at the moment. So it's unfortunate that the heavy spearmen couldn't really get involved in that fight. Maybe it might have been a good idea to put some heavy spearmen on the SPQR side, because they're all over there. So Esrax decided to attack. On the numbers, Esrax did have kind of the better troops. The urbans matched very favorably into the Triarii, and he had more cav compared to Dante. And Spider Pig's cav, because they're fast moving, and Spider Pig obviously got the message quite quickly. He was able to reinforce Esrax a lot quicker than Touro could. And even when Touro did, he only had 5 cataphracts to work with, and I think 1 Arab cav, so I think Spider Pig matched well into him anyway. So Spider Pig and Esrax just making use of their cav advantage and the infantry advantage they had on this flank as well. Yeah, the only real way I think Touro and Dante might have been able to turn this around is if they had the heavy spears. They might have been able to make something happen, but they're not the strongest phalanx units in the world, so that's maybe only helps a little bit. But their game plan really should have been to use their archer advantage a bit more. Really, they needed a lot more time than they made for themselves in this game. They needed to pretty much even up the cav advantage by shooting the enemy cav, but I don't think they really did enough to make use of their missile advantage. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys another time.